Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending where you are. We will now begin our weekly study. Starting with a lot of emotion already. We would like to take the time to thank you for your participation today and always, for sharing the links, for being here, for studying with us. We also would like to share the link of our mother church in Japan, sekai-meishiakyo.news/en/again. So we also have the website from worldchurchofmessiahusa.org, where you can also find important links there, such as the link for our sponsorship program that I also would like to thank you very much, you that is participating at this program that enable us to bring this message to as many people as possible. And through this program, we can create new projects for the church, we can plan activities, and so on. So thank you very much for your participation. I pray that we can all participate. I am participating with representing my family and my ancestors, and I'm very, very grateful for. Good evening, Israel. Good evening, United States, and all that is participating. So let's get started. Today we got a lot to cover. So here is just to let you know that if you are interested to participate on the sponsorship program, we have the link right here at YouTube. And we also have the link for the study today. Today, we will have a lot of things to cover, but keep tuned. So let's start with World Church of Messiah USA, Canon. Let's take this time So, I heard that I think the phone wasn't working, so my apologies for that. I started today the weekly service thanking for all of your participation today and always, and thanking for all those who are participating on the sponsorship program, and for those who are sharing the links to everybody. So let's start with our World Church of Messiah USA Canon. Let's take this time to connect with all of our ancestors, all of humanity, and all of creation. And in the name of Messiah, which is one with Meishu-sama and Jesus Christ, yes, one moment. Sorry again, we had an interruption here. Was just we work as a team, and we were making sure that you could be hearing what I'm saying. So please give a thumbs up if you can hear what I'm talking right now. Israel, can you hear it? Can you let me know if you can hear it? If you can hear my voice, please, okay? So I will start now with World Church of Messiah USA Canon. With great fear of God, we acknowledge that the Lord God is our true Father, the one and only God. We revere Meishu-sama as the model for all humanity and as our own example to follow. Meishu-sama, who was born anew as the true child of God, the Messiah, by receiving the divine will that God accomplished in heaven. We believe that Jesus Christ, who 2,000 years ago embodied the name of Messiah, the name most holy and high, is serving the Lord God in unity with Meishu-sama. And we regard the messages of Kyoshu-sama, who reveals to us the will of Meishu-sama in this material world as the sole, absolute, and irreplaceable foundation in advancing our mission here on earth. Thank you, Israel. So now, words of prayer. God, I acknowledge that you are alive. Within me, you are alive. I thank you for nurturing me to be newly born as your child. May this blessing be shared with all. In the name of Messiah, which is one with Meishu-sama, I surrender myself to you. Please use me as you wish. Thank you. So today, I would like to share with you an Instagram post. Unfortunately, last week we were not able to share, so I'm repeating today, so we are able to go through together. So this post is from Nidai-sama, which says, where there is harmony, there exists a center, always. Just as world peace is established only through God at the center, the peace of an area or a church is established only through the respective chief of a missionary area or lead minister of a church being at the center. Similarly, the church is the same as non-existent if Kyoshu is not at the center, since Kyoshu is the living incarnation of Meishu-sama. To say Kyoshu-centered is the same as saying Meishu-sama centered. Nidai-sama, April 1961. So this post really touched me because, again, Sandai-sama teaching us the importance for us to receive God's will, receive Meishu-sama's will through Kyoshu-sama. For us to understand once for all this unity in body, in spirit of Meishu-sama and Kyoshu-sama. And as you all know, members here of the church, we have surrendered the title of minister years ago because we believe that the true minister of this church, the true reverend, the only one that can guide us to the heart of Meishu-sama is Kyoshu-sama. So everything we do is representing Kyoshu-sama. Today we have this blessing of having our church centered to the holy seat of Kyoshu-sama, from where all churches in the world receive the guidance of Kyoshu-sama, the messages of Masaaki-sama, and in that way we are able to follow the footsteps of Meishu-sama. So I encourage you, if you are not yet on Instagram, please check it out. Register yourself, subscribe. Every day, almost every day, we are getting something new. Sometimes excerpts of the messages that were not translated yet. So it is a great opportunity for us to be in tune and centered with the Holy Seat of Kyoshu through Instagram, that it is directly revised and coordinated by our Mother Church Japan. So here's another posting which says, I have been ignorant until today, but it is you, God, who are my true parent, Kyoshu-sama. I have been ignorant until today, but it is you, God, who are my true parent, Kyoshu-sama. I chose this post to share with you because for me it's always important to feel, to receive, to observe how our spiritual leader communicates with God, his humble attitude toward God always. And I believe on the wish of truly following Meishu-sama's footsteps, we can be able to follow this path by following Kyoshu-sama, his example, his words, and reading and receiving everything that he is transmitting to us, sharing with us, communicating to each one of us. So again, when Kyoshu-sama says here, but it is you, God, who are my true parent, Kyoshu-sama. Sandai-sama said the importance for us to understand the center of our faith, the center. And I believe the only way we can receive God's will, Meishu-sama's will, is through the holy seat of Kyoshu-sama, as Sandai-sama always guided us to wake up to this truth. So today, it is with great happiness that I would like to communicate, as many of you have maybe already watched Masaaki-sama's video. Masaaki-sama, great-grandson of Meishu-sama and successor of Kyoshu-sama, has presented us with a new and very important message in English with the theme, Tetsu Watanabe, my mentor. Let's engrave this message deeply into our hearts. And going forward with this passion, with this love, with the words of Masaaki-sama engraved in our hearts. Keep tuned. At the end, I will share a quick reflection with you because we have a lot to cover today. When we receive the written material, we will go step by step. But let's watch and receive the words of Meishu-sama through Masaaki-sama.
After completing my university studies in Australia, I came back to Japan knowing that I had to look for a job. I attended a number of career fairs and talked with people from various companies. But something didn't feel right. I felt like my life was prepared for something else. Then, gradually, a feeling grew within me, a feeling that I wanted to help my father, Kyoshu-sama, and be of some use, however little, to the divine work of Meishu-sama. And so, one day in March 2005, at the age of 24, I told Kyoshu-sama that I wanted to be useful to Kyoshu-sama, to Meishu-sama. The first thing he said was, "We need to receive permission from Sandai-sama." And then he said, "Once you have her permission, you have to see Watanabe-sensei." The next day, Kyoshu-sama and I were allowed to meet Sandai-sama, and we asked for her permission. The permission for me to be involved in the divine work. There, after granting her permission, Sandai-sama asked Kyoshu-sama, "What do you want him to do?" Kyoshu-sama responded, "I plan to have him meet Watanabe-sensei, whom I trust, and start from there." Sandai-sama then said, and I still remember this moment so vividly to this day. She said to Kyoshu-sama, and in a way indirectly to me, the following: "Let Watanabe-sensei boil or bake him as he wishes. It will be good training for Masaaki." Boil or bake as you wish is a Japanese saying that means you can treat someone as you wish, freely, as you see fit. That is, Sandai-sama and Kyoshu-sama entrusted Watanabe-sensei with the task of training and educating me. A few days later, there I was with Watanabe-sensei in a sushi restaurant in Atami, just the two of us. Before saying much, he reached into the inner pocket of his jacket and took out a bunch of papers. Then he said, "I give you this." I looked at it, and it was the most recent message of Kyoshu-sama. He said, "I already read it 10 times, so you should too." I think it was a way for him to tell me that, first, he reveres and respects Kyoshu-sama deeply. But secondly, and more importantly, it was a way for him to tell me, don't take Kyoshu-sama for granted just because he is your father. From today, you must receive Kyoshu-sama not as your father, but as Kyoshu-sama. Toward the end of our meeting, Reverend Watanabe said, "Today I came to tell you one thing." Already nervous about meeting him for the first time, this made me even more so. He said, "Today, make a firm decision in your heart that you will be Kyoshu of this church in the future. From today, you must see, hear, and experience everything with this decision firmly set in your mind. Without making this decision, everything you are going to experience will be a waste." Not expecting at all to hear such a thing, I was stunned, speechless. But then he continued, "So what do you say? Will you make the decision now? Yes or no?" I uttered a not at all convincing yes to him. Immediately he said, "I don't accept that. Is that a yes or a no?" For whatever reason, I felt kind of scared to say yes to him. I mean, I just graduated from university, and what he was saying to me sounded like such a huge matter. And rightly so, it was a huge matter. But there, on the spot, I was required to make up my mind. After a few seconds of silence, which to me felt like several hours, I said yes. I did not say this with a loud voice or with conviction, but I remember saying this yes, feeling as if I were diving into something unknown, entrusting the whole of myself to that something. I am not sure even today whether this yes satisfied Watanabe-sensei or not, but still, he accepted my yes with a quiet nod. From then, my time with him began. Until he passed away in 2013, he taught me so many things that it is impossible for me to recount all of them now. But it all comes down to one point, and that is to serve. Through his words and attitude, he wanted me to learn the importance of serving. When he reached his hand into his pocket, it was time for him to smoke. So the moment he went for his cigarettes, I prepared an ashtray, before told, of course. When he wanted to write something, I had to prepare a pen and a piece of paper, so I always had them in my pocket, ready to be used. The two of us dined together so many times. Sometimes he asked me, "What do you want to eat tonight?" But to me, this question was a kind of challenge from him that actually meant, "Can you guess what I want to eat tonight?" This way, instead of putting myself first, I was trained to think of what Watanabe-sensei wanted. That is, I was trained to serve. What does he want right now? What is he thinking? Does he want to drink coffee now or later? Does he want me to talk or be quiet? To some, all this may sound old-fashioned, but to me it was not. In this way, I was able to learn how to serve someone, and that someone ultimately was God. Through Watanabe-sensei, I was able to learn the importance of serving God, the importance of leaving your wishes behind and living for the wishes of others, the wish of God. And the key to this training is understanding that in order to serve God, you have to do so through serving someone in this physical world. Kyoshu-sama is the only exception, since he is the one who serves the invisible, representing all of us. But for us, if we don't serve through someone in this physical world, we end up creating our own convenient image of God or Meishu-sama and say that we are serving them when, in fact, we are serving our own desires. That is why the existence of Kyoshu-sama is vital for our faith in Meishu-sama. By leaving your desires aside and focusing on the wishes of Kyoshu-sama, you are able to learn how to serve. If not, even though you say, "I serve Meishu-sama," how can you know you are right? How do you know what Meishu-sama now wants? The voice of Kyoshu-sama is the voice of Meishu-sama. This was the philosophy, faith, and principle that Watanabe-sensei strongly held. The years I spent with Reverend Watanabe have provided me with such a solid foundation to grow into a religious person. He taught me that it is only through serving your superior that you can serve Kyoshu-sama, and ultimately serve Meishu-sama and God. At times, he was very strict with me, but without him, I of today do not exist, and I am forever indebted to him for the love he gave me through his training. If Watanabe-sensei were alive during this church purification, he would have been the very first to defend Kyoshu-sama. Those who say otherwise are blind, ignorant people who fail to understand his mission on earth. He lived on earth to serve Kyoshu-sama. His mission was to serve Kyoshu-sama. He always told me, "My father, Katsuichi Watanabe, served Meishu-sama, Nidai-sama, and Sandai-sama. And me, I serve Sandai-sama and Kyoshu-sama." I think I heard him say this phrase at least 100 times. Such was his passion toward Kyoshu-sama. It was unfortunate to see some people distort his legacy on earth, forging an image that he was not a Kyoshu-sama-centered person. In this way, they are denying the very existence of Watanabe-sensei, someone who devoted his life to the divine work of Meishu-sama, through Kyoshu-sama. Do they really believe that Watanabe-sensei will be on the side of those who secretly follow and film Kyoshu-sama and Kyoshu-sama's wife? What nonsense. Throughout his life, he fought against those people to protect Kyoshu-sama, and he was attacked so much by them for doing so. But deep down, I believe they know. They know that they are betraying Watanabe Sensei by abandoning Kyoshu-sama. To them, I only have this to say. Watanabe Sensei is watching you, together with Meishu-sama, Nidai-sama, and Sandai-sama, and waiting for the day you repent. In Brazil, you who inherited the spirit of Watanabe Sensei stood up, and those who abandoned Watanabe Sensei left the true church of Meishu-sama. In Africa, you who inherited the spirit of Reverend Francisco, also known as Shikinyo, who was one of the principal disciples of Watanabe Sensei, stood up. Watanabe Sensei, the seed you sowed, the seed of Kyoshu-sama centered faith you sowed, has now grown and is starting to bear its fruits. Sensei, my mentor, my only mentor, my gratitude to you forever.
Então, muito profunda essa mensagem para todos nós, não é verdade? Tetsu Watanabe, my mentor, is the message that is available now, message number 16, for all of us to really study and grasp this deep meaning of the true service to God. That is so much to share. We will wait the written message, but just few points here that I would like to share. At the beginning, when Masaaki-sama shared that when he talked to Kyoshu-sama about his wish to serve, so the first thing Kyoshu-sama said to him is, we need to receive permission from Sandai-sama. So I felt it was very interesting that even though they are family members, but there is this law of order, right? So a meeting was scheduled for it. So this respect to the holy seat of Kyoshu, I think, was very present at this moment since the beginning of the message, but to me was very present at this moment how it is alive even in the family, right? So when he said, Masaaki-sama, that through his words and attitude, Watanabe Sensei was always teaching how to serve. And Masaaki-sama was able to learn of serving God and living for the wish of God. And a phrase that he said that I thought was very strong was, the voice of Kyoshu-sama is the voice of Meishu-sama. And he shared that this was the principle of Watanabe Sensei. And also that for at least 100 times, Watanabe Sensei said, I serve Sandai-sama and Kyoshu-sama. So I think this message number 16 is so precious. It's a diamond for us who truly wishes to follow the footsteps of Meishu-sama through Kyoshu-sama, and to really get the spirit of how truly serve Meishu-sama on earth. We can also have the opportunity to learn through Masaaki-sama what he learned through Watanabe Sensei. So our deepest gratitude for Masaaki-sama sharing with us so precious information in this video. And I wish we can study here very soon with you the written message. So I would like to continue today and conclude the Kyoshu-sama's New Year message, January 1st, 2023, which says, Kyoshu-sama, receiving God's blessing, we came to know that we exist here on earth only because our spiritual, heavenly bodies exist in heaven. As ones who have been blessed in this way, let us offer the whole of our material body to God and wish to be one with God. That is, let us wish to achieve the union of the spiritual and the material. It is only when we are one with God that we can turn into true living beings through the power of God's life. The source and power of salvation come from heaven that exists within us. In order to make people recall the heaven existing within them and to share the salvation existing in this heaven, Meishu-sama literally poured his heart and soul into constructing the physical sacred grounds, the projection of heaven. With an aim to inherit the sacred heart of Meishu-sama and respond to his passion for the salvation of humanity, last year on November 1st, at the November monthly service, Masaaki, who acts on my behalf, declared the initiation of the process of the construction of World Church of Messiah's sacred ground. How blessed we are to follow the footsteps of Meishu-sama through Kyoshu-sama on this phase of divine work on earth, to be able to participate on this construction of the church that Meishu-sama left here on earth. Is really a blessing for all of us to be completely united for one purpose, for this sacred purpose on earth. Following this declaration, last month on December 18th, at the service for the births of Meishu-sama and Jesus Christ, I announce to you that the place of worship that will be the center of our sacred ground shall be called the Holy Temple of the Messiah. The translation of the name has not yet been finalized. United as one, let us wholeheartedly serve in its construction and prepare a holy temple of the Messiah that will make Meishu-sama happy and that will respond to his wish. So I wish we can really engrave these words in our hearts of Kyoshu-sama. United as one, let us wholeheartedly serve in its construction and prepare a holy temple of the Messiah that will make Meishu-sama happy and that will respond to his wish. And I believe because Kyoshu-sama, it is giving such an important guidance and words to all of us that we will be able to feel this happiness and joy of Meishu-sama by participating in one heart on this sacred construction on earth. Furthermore, June 15th of this year marks the 1-year anniversary of the grand ceremony to celebrate the birth of the Messiah. With this in mind, as Masaaki and I communicated to you last year, we have decided that the past Paradise on Earth service that we have been holding for June 15th will be held as the Birth of the Messiah service from this year on. Yes, and we are actually already excited to prepare ourselves to celebrate 1 year anniversary of the grand ceremony to celebrate the birth of the Messiah. Responding to Meishu-sama, who, with his very own body and being, demonstrated to us the significance of the birth of the Messiah. Let us welcome this major world holy day together. Let us also engrave into our hearts the deep connection between Jesus Christ and Meishu-sama, who affirmed that World Church of Messiah would advance salvation hand in hand with Christianity. Let us express our most sincere gratitude to God, who sent the two to this world, and let us serve Him together with all humanity, all of humanity's paternal and maternal ancestors, and all creation. I just would like to share here my deepest gratitude to Kyoshu-sama to keep awakening for the existence of the ancestors, paternal and maternal ancestors of all humanity within each one of us. For so many years, I thought would be only the ancestors of my last name, even feeling connected to the person in front of me, but deeply inside had this separation. So today is completely different the way I feel about the existence of the ancestors, as we have been learning through Kyoshu-sama, how our ancestors are alive within each one of us, and that the humanity's paternal and maternal ancestors are alive within each one of us. So I started awakening, and I continue awakening of how big is our mission on earth if we can truly believe and awaken to this truth, right? The blessing of truly receiving this truth and from God, this permission from God to believe of this heavenly existence within us, and that we are constantly alive with all of our ancestors. I believe it is already a true salvation for my life. To you who serve God in this way throughout this year, may God grant you His grace and comfort. Thank you very much. I would like to thank very much our spiritual leader Kyoshu-sama for this message to the world, for your participation today and always, and to remind you, let's share the Instagram post through WhatsApp, through Facebook. Let's bring this message to as many people as possible. Let's walk together. Let's share together this gospel that can awaken so many hearts right now. Thank you very much one more time. We see you next week, and have a blessed weekend. Thank you.